Hey, thanks for tuning in to MotoHead. We're here today to do a cam install. So this is the new cam. This is the old cam. Original stock cam. Beautiful cam. But, you know, I'm running out of things to do, so I said, man, you know what? I'm going to get one from LPR and see how it does. It's supposed to have power, low, high, across the board, a little bit increase. So I'm going to try it. And that's what we're going to do today. I removed the valve cover. Before that, I removed the air box. And if you haven't done that or seen my video on removing the air box, it's pretty straightforward. Catch the video. I bet you can get that air box off in no time. Anyways, so got the valve cover off. And you know what? I zip tied this kind of cord back. I made everything clean, and it made it a little easier getting the valve cover off. Okay. So here's the cam. What we need to do today, before we put in the new cam, and this is how it's basically orientated inside, about right there. Okay, so we're going to remove these weights, and we're going to screw them in here, and we're going to put thread Loctite 243 or equivalent, and torque it to 6 Newton meters. Slide the cam back in. Check valve clearances. We're also going to do the cam tensioner, and we gotta fiddle with that today. So there's that. First, we find top dead center. Remove the stator cover. Then you can line up a 13 millimeter counterclockwise and get the 2 dots to line up with these arrows right here. And then you find top dead center. And when you do that, you can actually take a 5 millimeter Allen wrench and poke it in there, and it'll keep things from moving on you while you're messing with the cam chain and pulling it out. Okay guys, that's the cam tensioner right there. So if you pull on the chain a little bit, watch. See, it'll pop out for you. You can sit there and fiddle with it all day long, but that's how we do it. We had to remove first. You had to remove this one. It's in there, 22 millimeter. Okay, we're back. So here's the cam tensioner. Here's the little cover. Here's a little O-ring that goes on the cam tensioner, slides in, okay? And I zip tied this clutch line out of the way, okay? Put some rags in here just in case I don't want to drop anything down in there, okay? So this is out of the way, zip tied. I love those reusable zip ties. But anyways, we're going to pull this cam out in a minute. So right now, I'm loosening up this screw right here, this little plate. It's the only thing keeping the cam in, really. So I'm going to remove it. I got a rag stuffed in here too, because I don't want to drop anything in there. Looks like held in with blue Loctite. That's it. So the screw goes in just like that. Okay. Put this out of the way. I'm going to pull this back. And that's what she looks like. Okay guys, so, I tried taking the chain off on this side. I didn't like it. So my timing's off a little bit, but that is okay. We're going to fix that later. Okay, and I don't know if I can get I'm going to try to find an easier way to get this, because I had the chain off on this side, but I couldn't get the cam out. So I'm wondering if I can possibly move it to this side, see, like I just did. And then perhaps I can slide out this cam like this, is what I'm thinking. So it worked. It absolutely worked. Okay, that's it, dude. We got it out. So, that's it. That was actually pretty easy. Getting the chain on the other side is the ticket. Look at that bearing. Sweet, looks good. Alright, so clean this up just a little bit. You can tell I'm OCD on cleaning crap. Okay. Just so I don't. Okay. Okay, don't really need to super do that. But here we go. Look, 2 screws. One on the plastic chain guide. 1 screw on the retaining clip. On the other side, we saw that. Right? And both held in with Loctite. So, where are we at? We're closer to the install. Let's take a look at the 2 cams. Just visually. They're not huge, but we can tell. There's a difference. Okay, we'll slide it back in. Okay, the weights and basically decompress mechanism is installed. So fully actuated, this is recessed, and then it pops out. These screws per LPR torqued to 6 Newton meters, and we did that. Put everything back. This little spring has to go inside this little hole on each side, and not too bad. Take your time. Now we're ready to put it back in. Okay, I'm back, ready to install the cam now. So I'm going to line it basically in the vicinity of top dead center, and I've got a line, a little arrow, a little dot right here, you know, and we're going to try to match it up. See that little arrow? You can barely see it. Okay, so something like that. And then if it, you know, if it hangs up on the decompressed mechanism, then I can maybe move that and maybe get it past there. So here we go. So here's my hole, like that. He's stuck a little bit. I might have to zip this timing chain up out of the way. See if I can just guide it. That's what, see, and then you got it, and then, I don't know, and then I'm working the chain at the same time, guys. I'm trying to get it on here, and you know, once we get it on, then we can make some timing adjustments, and throw it in there like that. Look at that. Look at that. You know, I'll fall over if the timing's right. Okay, wait, this isn't perfect. I marked this with a purple line on the chain like that. Okay, I don't know. How come it's not there? Right there. That's it. Something like that. Okay, now that my line's marked. Look at, it's really close. And I think if we put, see, it's one tooth off, I think, on my sprocket right here. It's on here. Okay, but I think I'm one tooth off. That's pretty good, guys. That's pretty good. So what I'm going to do right now, instead of filming me fiddle around, I'm going to walk this one tooth, okay? And I'll try for just a few seconds, but I might turn off and then come back. Okay, so she needs to go this way. And when I put tension on it, I don't know. I think I was better the other way. Okay. I can barely. That's pretty close. Let me see. And that's the way it kind of was. Because when I put tension on this, well, they're really close, guys. I'm going to do some fiddling and checking, but that went pretty smooth. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that, because I think when I put tension on the cam chain, it's going to throw that one down a little bit and this one up a little bit, kind of like that. And I think that's what it is. I'll do some checking and figuring. Okay, I'm back. You know what? I think I did pretty good. The only way to really know, because I think there's like a half a tooth, and I'm just not positive, but the only way, it's not a full tooth. It's like less than a half a tooth difference, and I think by the time this bracket goes on, in this bracket, then I think it'll all line up, but I'm not going to know until I get it back together, for sure. And then I'm going to want to spin the piston around a few times. You know, I want to do that. Oops, not the right way here. You know what? I need my glasses on. I like these. Alright. Got my magnifiers on. Alright. So here it goes. Kind of like that. But it kind of slides in. Kind of. See, kind of like that. See how it, see, it just kind of slides in like that. And I clean the screws, you know, with pick tool. And that's what I've got this for, is to clean out the old Loctite. And then carb clean is usually what I'll do to the screw. And then on this particular case, I used carb clean on a Q-tip and cleaned out the hole really well. Because what's going to happen is it's gonna you know, kind of distort your torque value, and it's gonna just get in the way. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna cinch that. I'm not gonna torque those yet, and I'm not gonna torque this either. But hopefully I come right back and torque these. And there's not a lot of torque on these guys. It's like, oh yeah, this one. Okay, bracket. Only go in one way. You got a beveled end where the screw goes in. Okay, then what we're going to do is, because we're going in here, I do not want to drop anything. Cam's got to be in, so it rides in this little recessed area right there. Little dark cavities, I'm telling you. Torque's 25. And everything's 6 Newton meters. That's what I'm doing, 6 Newton meters. Just snug it up. That's all I did on both those. Just snugged it up. Okay. I think we're there. So we'll find out.
Okay guys, I'm going to show you how to set this cam tensioner. And before putting it into the bike, you need to set it. And that's compress this cam tensioner down all the way. Install it this way. Goes into the bike this way. This faces to the rear. Okay. So press it, put it in the bike, and then once it's in the bike, there's a little hole in that 22 millimeter head, and you've got to compress this and then pop it back real fast. All right. So that's why I had to remove the exhaust, is so I can get it to compress and get a screwdriver in there that would that would do it, because it's a pretty hard little push. Now watch. Okay, now that sets it, all right? And then by quickly compressing it back and then back up, it will release. And that's what you want it. You want it in the bike when it does that. And then put the little tiny 25 Torx screw in there, 27 or whatever it is. And then that's it. Okay. Now we're going to try to re-spring it out. So it's going to be in the bike like that. And then lining a screwdriver or something in this so you can, you know, you don't want to damage anything. But so, and then quickly, see how that snaps back up? That is the way it is in the bike, so that it can constantly adjust as the cam tension, you know, as the chain needs it. Okay guys, I'm back. Just set the cam tensioner in there. You can see the little hole, you know, I'm up underneath. It's the back of the cylinder head. Okay, so I'll try to get a good light on it. But that is the cam tensioner. And there's a little 25 Torx little screw that fits in that hole. Okay, and then you got a 22 millimeter head on that bulb, which has to come out first to remove the cam tensioner. You set it and then stick it back in, and then put the O-ring in, then screw this big nut in there, 22 millimeter nut, and then you got this little hole, all right? So as soon as I pop that and set that cam tensioner, then I'll be able to screw in this 25 millimeter Torx screw into that little hole. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do, and I can't film and do that at the same time, but I'm gonna try a 5 millimeter Allen, stick it in there, and push real hard and get it to set. And I'll know it sets because the cam chain will be tight. And right now, the cam chain is loose. So I think we are dead nuts on the timing. Okay. All right. Okay, guys, I'm back. I used this screwdriver, but first I had to take off the exhaust. Bummer. Because it was just too hard to set the cam tensioner in this hole. And, you know, you compress the cam tensioner and basically insert it into the hole. Put your 22 millimeter cap on and O-ring that's in there. So you put the tensioner in, first set it. You know, basically what you're doing is compressing the tensioner because it's spring loaded in, you know, automatic adjusting to whatever it needs versus a preset fixed one that you install, right? Hydraulic, so this thing's kind of adjusting. So anyways, you compress it and it holds it into its compressed form. You put the cam tensioner in there, put an O-ring in there, and then put this nut on. And then screw it in, okay? So we did that hand tight, I did that hand tight. And then stick this screwdriver through this hole. And then a quick sharp bam, you know, just, you know, to set it. And what that will do is take that cam tensioner and basically pop it back out. And then what you know you did it when the chain is tight, and it's tight. And it was a fiddle until I removed the exhaust, and then it went perfect. So there it is. Now I'm going to put this screw back on in there and torque that to 10 Newton meters. And then this bolt up here, this one, 25 Newton meters.
Hey, okay, man. We're back in action, you know. Like I said, we had to remove the exhaust, and you know, that's what we got to do, man. But I taped this off. You know, you guys have already noticed. But you know what? It's worth it. And I got that roll over at the Dollar Tree, and gosh, I didn't even dent the roll. But just tape it off, and you know what? You're going to bang it. You're going to get oil. You're going to scratch it. So that's what I do anyways. But back here, oh, you know what? This thing's gone together really well. This is my intake. I just did the valve check, and I did a video on that. And so I knew where I was. And I was, you know, a little close on the outer edge of the intake, and that's where you want to be. I was at 0.15 on the intake, on both of them basically. And the exhaust was at about a 0.23 last time. Well, that didn't change. The exhaust still came out 0.23, and the intake changed a little bit. So a little bit tighter there. 0.12, 0.13. 1.3 almost fit there, so it's like a 12.5 maybe. So really super close. Super happy that I didn't have to go out and get shims. All right, so I want to show you a little bit about what I'm talking about here, and I'll just pick this one over here. Here, I'll do it at the same time. So we're trying to get this underneath and right. Oh yeah, see, that's a tight fit, man. See what I mean? See that? Perfect. The other ones fit exactly like that. So pretty stoked. I really thought, you know, I'd have to go get shims or something. But anyways, that's what she came out with. LPR cam installed. Now, man, I just got to put the valve cover back on. You know, get my exhaust back on. Button everything back up, which is, you know, more time. But, look, the marks line up beautifully. When everything went back together, the chain tightened everything up, you know, and, you know, remember the cam tensioner position right there, and save you some time. Take off the exhaust. It's much more doable, and I don't think it's very doable with it in the way. But I had to try. You know me, I like to take the least amount of parts off the bike that I can get away with. All right, so, but I'm super stoked that it went back together like this. I don't have to run and get shims. I don't have to do anything like that. Now I just have to put it back together. Okay, we're going to try it. It's all back together. It's been a long day. And the moment of truth. What's it going to sound like? And is it going to start? You're seeing it like I am. Keeping it real. So I'm going to back it out. And I also WD'd the exhaust, titanium, you know, so got all the fingerprints off of it, wiped it down, and made sure it was good, and went over it again and again, and seems to be solid. So here we go. Well, the lights come on. It's going to be clattery a little bit until the cam tensioner, there it goes away. So I got smoke coming off my exhaust, and that's what's going to happen here. Sounding pretty good. Thanks for watching.